Like first of all, this is this network up screen that this you press you type up, so this has been used. So in Hyperledger, first of all, you have to create a cryptogen like MSP directly, membership provider service. So what you have to do is there are two ways of creating it. It is one way is through cryptogen and the other way is through Fabric CA authorities like Fabric CA client or Fabric CA server. So if I do a dash CA in dot slash network strip, then it will go to CA client. But if I don't do, the default way is through cryptogen. So in cryptogen folder, there are three ways, three files. This is config file. So this is crypto config org2. So in crypto config, you first of all, it's a peer organization, the name of the organization, the domain of the organization. You have to custom like change everything. If you like change this, if you want to like make it to your like whatever you want to create, then you pass on users, and you can even pass on admins. They haven't used admins as of in this script, so we'll not use it. Then it's the same way org1. So org1 has org1.example.com, then even one user the same way. So what happens is there's also a orderer file for this, say orderer, it's example.com, orderer localhost. So nothing is generated over here as of now, but if I run network.sh script up now, see two files have been created right now. So these two files are created by the cryptogen tool. Orderer organization, see the orderer organization has a domain name of example.com. So this has all the certificates that you want. The same way peer organization will have all like org1 org2, see org2. So org2 will have org2 example.com and all the main certificates of org. Then after this, what happens is after cryptogen, it goes through the next main file, which is config.tx, config transaction file. So in config transaction files, you like you have to do this like custom, like you have to create anchor peers. This is used as an anchor peer. Orderer organization, you can put whatever name you want, ID. Then policies, like who can read about it. Only admins can only make changes, writers all the members can make change, or you can do like dot admin, so only admin can make changes. Same way you have to do with org. So I showed you this MSP directory, right, over here. So you have to give the same path for this, like if you see organization slash peer organization, right? Oh my god, how did it get removed? Test network organization. So I have given, like I have not given, like the Linux Foundation has given the part already, peer organization org1 example.com and then MSP. So in this way you have to create a transaction config tx file. And what happens is in your network sh script, everything is going on in the backend. First it creates the docker compose. Then if you give a dash ca, which is certification authorities, then it will create a docker compose for like CA authorities as well. I can give you an example of that as well. Let be. So create channel, so it creates channel. You have to go to all this script. Okay, this all this script are important. So next thing you do is in this you do dot network sh up, create channel, and hello. Wait, I can give a. Oh wait, what am I doing?
No, you already did it with hello. That can be
But
reset.
I downloaded now.
The
I
hyperC is required to specify the channel name, is it?
No, but she was facing Reshmi was facing an issue about channel, same channel name error. So I showed her with a different error. I'll try without any channel name. So it just created a Genesis block and the channel already exists. That's why I was giving different channel name. Channel artifacts. See, this is my channel block that has been already created. This is not joining channel because it's already joined the channel. That's why I was giving different channel name, because in I was working on this today itself and I created the same my channel name using certificate authorities. I was working on a script, this one. So this is the Docker script, and this everything is been done by a Linux Foundation. If you want to make a custom one, then you have to do it from the start, like basic. You have to make it custom, and then a channel block has been created over here. So this is the first Genesis block. I think so. This much is enough for everyone. Like, I don't want to overwhelm everyone. This much
Mohammed,
is
can you
like,
try it with a different channel name so
yeah,
that
okay, wait.
the creation of that Genesis block would be visible for everyone?
First, I'll have to do down. What am I getting this expected Docker compose dash CA? Wait, where is that? Line 83, 84, 83, 84. Okay, so it's giving error over here now. Just move this. Slash network sh up create channel world. No.
I guess you have to give -c.
Okay, yeah, yeah, correct, correct,
Hyphen.
correct. Yep. So it created the world. Then it used like both the organization is using both the peers. Like you can check, you can go Docker PS and you can check all your peers. Like see, this is the tools, you don't have to worry about it. Orderer, peer, peer0.org one dot example, that is what we created using cryptogen. And peer0.org 2.example.com, this is the second peer, and orderer.example.com. So all these three of them should work in tandem. Like peer and orderer should work in tandem with each other, because everything, like peer orderer is the servicing node, everything should go through it. Like Genesis block, everything will be connected to it, and it will like authorize all the transaction. Like if you want to join a channel, it will have to like join orderer first. Peer should be able to join orderer before it would be able to join the channel. So that's how it works. And now you can just do network sh down, just go down and save it, or and save it. Now if you check Docker PS, firstly it's clear. Nothing is running as of now. So I guess Navin can like clear everyone's doubt if there are any.
This looks amazing and complex as well. Thank you so much, Mohammed.
No problem. It's very complicated actually.
Uh, and then there are some certain things you understand when you do it by yourself. When you go to that file, when you
Yeah,
see.
I'll just suggest everyone to go through this main file, this network sh file. This is very important. You have to go through every part of it, like create channel, then deploy CC. This is chain code, deploy chain code. Then network down is basically just removing everything, all the containers and all. These are the environment variables. Then there's like I can see the see like this, if you don't do any command for CA, then it will use the cryptogen. But sometimes it's much easier and much better to use Fabric CA authorities, because you can register and you can enroll new users very easily using that. If I can show you some file, I don't think so it's available over here. No. If it's possible, I'll show you that next time. I'll get it ready and show you how Fabric CA authorities work.
Mohammed, I mean, if possible, could you please put it in a note kind of thing, like step by step? How does it? I mean, how whatever you just now demoed.
Yeah, okay, wait, I'll
I think that
just
would be helpful. I mean, if you can put it in the
wait.
Discord channel, I think everyone can just refer that one and try to do that one at least.
I'll just tell you the main things that happen first. Where's this file now? Can anyone see help dot? Okay, what happened? Do this, I think. Like, I'll show you what you should do, like what you should learn in the beginning. First of all, go to the network asset script. That's your first step. Then there's the thing called cryptogen. You can now find everything over here if you want now. Here, let's search for it. Cryptogen. One moment. Okay, so this is cryptogen binary. In your fabric samples folder now, you can file this thing. Like, I'll show you where. This is your binary. When you run network asset script, your binary, like your part of this binary will be set inside your network asset script. So that is why you are able to like do all the commands for deploying and all that. I'll show you that also. See this binary folder. So first, the most important thing is keeping this path. Then first you have to learn about cryptogen. Cryptogen is used to generate MSPs. Generate MSPs. Then you have to go to config txgen. Config txgen. Config txgen is used for creating Genesis block. Genesis block, as well as it is used for creating channel transaction. Channel transaction. Then you can then there's the orderer. 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 There's a YAML file for orderer. I think so. If I'll be able to find, I'll show you one. One moment. Scripts. Config tx. I go to this config tx.yaml as well. Okay, so you'll understand. I'll show you this. Wait. In this now, at the bottom, this is your consortium. This is your profiles. So using this to org application Genesis, you create the Genesis block, and using this, you create a channel transaction. Okay. Then there's orderer. Orderer is used. It's like it's everything has to go to the orderer. Like a channel a peer has to join a channel, then the peer should be connected with the orderer before joining. So orderer, check out orderer.yaml first. I'll search for orderer YAML here. Control F, orderer.yaml. So this is the orderer YAML file. It's too long. You have if you are using TLS certificates, so you have to give the TLS certificates. So this is the orderer. In orderer, you have to give file C bootstrap method. Okay, so in this you have to give file. It is not given in here, but you have to give your Genesis this Genesis block you have created. Now you have to give that file location for it. I think so. It must be deleted now because I did network SSH down. Yeah, channel artifacts are not there. But in that way, you have to give your bootstrap Genesis block file name, then what kind of encryption you're using, then authentication, then this is the file ledger. In this, you have to give your ledger, like where your file should be saved. Then if you're using Kafka cluster, I think so Kafka is deprecated now. I think so. I'm not sure. Mostly Raft has been used now.
Kafka, I guess, is deprecated.
Yeah, Kafka is, I guess, deprecated. Metrics, admin.
So I have a question for you, Mohammad. So let's say if we want to build the network from scratch for my own project, can we use the existing test network to build up, or we need to write everything from scratch?
I tried building up using network SH, but I guess you have to build it from scratch. I was today only I was making one. Wait, right now. I'll show that also. Wait. Today only I was making. Wait, this screen is coming up. See, token. I was working on token. So, wait. Dot. So, so I'll show you. See, this is my first CryptoGen file. I created the CryptoGen file. Only I created one CryptoGen file, and I like gave everything in like together only. See, this is orderer organization. Then this is the peer organization. You can change. You can't change name in network asset script, right? Like you have to make changes in the crypto config file, then orderer file. The second thing is config tx file. So whatever I did over here in this part, I had to make changes like over here as well. See org one. So this is all the policies. These policies are introduced in 2.2. It was not available in 1.4. So see, I'm using a solo orderer. You can use Kafka, Solo, and I guess etc Raft. And I think so Raft is used widely, and I don't think so Kafka has been used. In the same way, I'm giving org to MSP right here. See crypto config file or my organizations over here. MSP, admin search, CA search, TLS search. If I use TLS, I'll have to give TLS. If I'm using normal, then it will just use admin. And what happens is this is my ledger. All the chain code, everything that will be like deployed will be shown. I haven't deployed a chain code, so I don't have any chain codes. But this is the ledger. Then this is the token I was working on. This is my Genesis block. Of course, it won't be like visible. It's encrypted, and this is my transaction file. But you can actually now you can see these. You can see it. Wait, I'm not sure. I'll show. Wait, I'll try. Config tx channel configuration. One moment. No, no, not this. Wait. Config. There is like a cryptogen config tx later. No. config txgen. Why is it not showing here? Config txgen. So I guess if I give output, so these are the command that goes in the like it doesn't show in your network SS script, but you have to pass these commands. I created this Genesis block. Like you have to give profiles. Do you want me to like give you one example? It will take time, I guess.
If not today, maybe some other day you can try this.
Yeah, of course. Even I'm not ready. I know I had to do a presentation.
So let's do one thing. Let's do one thing, Mohammad. Let's plan this session for Tuesday, coming Tuesday.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
So all these commands are basically like I use if I show you in both the ways, wait, I'll show you this. So for this now, I had to go to config folder, and in config folder, I had to give output block as this genesis.block, and profile I had to give what I gave in config tx file here over here. This was my profile, and this is my channel ID. Okay, so I give this, and I gave a path for a data slash channel genesis block. So this block was created because of the this command. Then there's a create channel transaction block command. So using this, in the same way, I gave a profile. I gave this as my profile. Wait, I don't think so it's visible. This was my profile in create channel like create channel transaction one, and ID I gave my channel as I created. And then I think so config tx I can wait. I don't know if this will work. I can try. Wait, one moment. Config. I can't see actually. Tx gen inspect. Wait, I can't see what I'm typing. Inspect channel create tx data slash channel tx, right? Data slash channel tx slash. How do you do like dot json? Did it work? Wait. Okay, worked I guess. So this is my channel.json. So this was you were not able to see this because it's like encrypted and all. But in this, if you do inspect channel create transaction, you can see what's going on your channel. So you can see my channel name was my channel. Then there's an organization one. Uh, the policies majority, it works on majority consortium. Then I think so org2 will be over here as well somewhere. CLN consortium, which I gave in this airline consortium. My channel again. That way you can even check your output block as well if it's possible. Output anchor peer. No, it's not given over here. Inspect block. Yeah, okay. I can show that also. Config txgen dash inspect output inspect block. Correct. Data slash what was my block name? Genesis.block. Genesis.block. Okay, like I'll have to do this as well. Genesis.json. So this is my Genesis block. If you deploy chain code, say org1 MSP admin member, peers, whatever role will be given. See, orderer, localhost 7051 or one MSP, the certificate of these orgs. It's too long. Admin, same thing. I haven't like deployed any in code, so it's not visible over here. These are the policies, capabilities, consortiums. This is my endline consortium.
Okay, Mohammed, I guess it is getting heavy now. So let's do
Yeah,
something
that's
now.
right.
So the question is, what are the steps we need to do, and what is the network is going to give us, or the script is going to give us?
See, I'll tell you, go through these commands first. You go to this cryptogen, then go to config txgen. This will help you create, you can find this on the Fabric CA. You just have to search for it. Then orderer, basically in orderer, you just create a YAML file. And when you instantiate a Docker container, or even if you like if I can like instantiate an orderer right now. See, I'll go into config file. Okay, I'm in my config directory. Okay, I have a orderer here over here, where I gave, see, I told you about the Genesis block, correct? See, I gave my Genesis block path over here, data Genesis block. I have to give file, and I made changes in MSP directly as well. Now I only have to do a simple command for orderer, which is, as the name suggests, orderer, and orderer will start running. See, it's running. It's beginning to serve a request. Now, I don't know if I created this here, but I'll try. Wait. Now also I'll go to cd config, and now I'll do peer node start. See, it's connected to my orderer. I'll have something. Yeah, this peer will retrieve blocks from an organization. Okay, so this is my first block.
Okay.
Yeah. In that way, I'll just tell you first these complete these two things, cryptogen and config txgen, then work on orderer.yaml file. Then there's peer, which is also you have to create a peer.yaml file, which is different. If not peer, sorry, core.yaml file. Core.yaml file, this is my core.yaml file, so you have to make changes over here as well. Core.yaml file. Then in this you can search for peer as well. Right. Peer is itself a bit like a list of commands, like peer channel join, peer channel create, peer channel get info. There are many, like many in not this way, many commands possible. Peer channel, you see like this: peer channel create, then fetch, then get info, join, list, sign config tx, update. Everything here you have to go through this. You have to like, but the thing is ki there's no documentation about it, like a good documentation, a good tutorial about it. So you have to go through it manually. I also went through it manually. You have to learn that way only. And if you want, I'll add links for it over here.
Yeah, please, that will be helpful. Or maybe even if you give names, we'll search those things.
Yeah.
Now we know where to search.
Orderer is basically orderer command. You can check for orderer if you want. Make cryptogen and config txgen. You can search on this docs and you can find it. Okay. If you want, still I can give link.
That's fine. We know how to find now. Just
Right.
share those things on the Discord.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Should I stop sharing my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
So now I have to watch a movie and sleep.
I want to have my dinner actually. Told you about it.
Yeah, right. So thank you so much, Mohammed. That was awesome as well as complex. So it will take some time for us to grasp it.
Eh, Even it took time for me to grasp it. Like there's no like tutorials and forums like for this. It's so privatized that no one posts about it. Like
Yeah.
issues are, if you get stuck somewhere, then it's like done, done for the day. It's like
Great,
that.
don't worry. We have a community. Let's build the
Yeah, yeah.
community and let's see, help each other. Awesome. Great. So thank you so much, Mohammed. And now let's move towards some theory. Where is that? Yeah. So I was doing some documentation, not exactly documentation, but some notes for myself. Let me share my screen to show you. And let's discuss some of those common terms and you can contribute as well. I'm sharing my talk. Okay. Now, when it comes to Fabric, there are certain things you have to remember, some which Fabric provides. Now, one of the things which Fabric provides is this, which is identity management. So example, whatever nodes you have, whatever components you have on the network, they will be having some identity. Now, who's responsible to manage those identities or handle those identity is your MSP. Now, MSP stands for Membership Service Provider. Now, of course, they will not be giving you certificate that will be given by someone else. So in this network, example, I mean, if you say you are, example, in fact, yesterday we have talked about it. If you claim to be someone, you need a proof that you are that someone. And that certificate will be given by the certificate authority. Now, what Mohammed was talking about, the Fabric CA. So you can use, I guess that is MSP, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
MSP, membership service provider.
Yeah, right. So basically, you will need certificate, and who will manage those identity is the, who will handle those is MSPs.
Yeah.
Are admin and MSP same?
Sorry?
Is it like admin and MSP are same? They have the same roles?
No, admins are the roles, right? And MSP is a service which
Okay,
will manage your identities.
fine. So
Yeah, even admin have their own MSPs.
okay, fine.
Okay, so Fabric also provides privacy and confidentiality, and that's one of the reasons why you are moving away from public blockchain to private blockchain, right? Because you have limited number of nodes, the trusted nodes, and also in one network, if you have 10 nodes or 10 organizations, it's not like everyone will be interacting with each other and they want to share the data. So one way to avoid that, let's say if you have 3 companies they want to interact, then they have other 4 companies who want to interact, we can create private channels. So maybe one channel, in one channel you can have 3 organizations, second channel you can have 4 organizations and something like that. But then with the version 2 of Fabric, we got something more. We got private data collection. Now, what are those? So the thing is, when you talk about the network, and let's say 3 organizations want to interact. So you will say, okay, create one channel. But what if you have one more, in that same channel, you have a transaction which you don't want to share with others, or you don't want to share with the ordering service as well. Remember, the ordering service will be managed by one of the organization. So basically, whatever transaction you do on the network, ordering service can see those transactions. So what if you want to hide that data as well? Now that's when you got private data collections. In this, what you do is, let's say if you have 2 peers and if they want to do a transaction, so instead of creating a private channel, of course, we can do that. We can create a private channel. The only problem is if you create a private channel, you first of all, the number of channels will be more. Second, if you have more channels, you have to manage more channels. So instead of that, what you can do is the peer-to-peer, there will be, if you have two organizations, they can send data to each other in a peer-to-peer network. But then we are not storing that on a blockchain, right? Ultimately, the aim was to store it on blockchain. So what we can do is, these two organizations, they can share their data in a peer-to-peer fashion in their own databases, but the hash of those databases will be available on the blockchain for the validation, for the audits. Now this will make much more sense when we try it out. Okay, but imagine this: if you have two organizations, if they want to share data, instead of creating a new channel, we can use PDCs, the private data collections. Okay, so Fabric also provides you efficient programming where efficient processing where your network provides you, multiple. Okay, how do you say that? So multiple transactions can be done at the same time. So we can have concurrency and parallelism. It's not like you have to wait for the earlier transaction to complete. So we can do things in parallel. We can also write business logic, which we have already talked about, which is smart contract. In Hyperledger Fabric, we call them as chain code as a package. The awesome thing is it can be done with the help of general purpose language instead of using some specific language like Solidity for Ethereum. We can use JavaScript, Java, Go language, our choice. Now we can also do this governance with the help of policies. Now, why do we need policies? See, in this network, we can have multiple nodes, right? We can have multiple identities. We have to specify who can do what. And we can do that with the help of policies. Who can start the order peer, who can deploy the chain code. So we can set all those things in the policies. And the awesome thing is we can achieve. It has modular architecture, so you can plug and play. So if you want something else, you can just plug it and you can use it. Right. So we have talked about identity. We have talked about MSPs. Now MSPs basically manages the identity. So they are not responsible to assign the identities. That is done by CAs, but they will manage their identities. And most of the Fabric, Fabric supports almost all PKI, which is the public key infrastructure. But then if you don't want to create one, if you don't want to use external, you can also use the Hyperledger Fabric CA for the PKI. Okay, so policies, we have talked about it. Nodes are basically entities on the blockchain. Now, normally, when you imagine nodes, we normally imagine them as physical machines, right? But in one physical machine, you can have multiple nodes. So there are logical nodes, you can say. Okay, so nodes are an identity, and we can have different types of nodes. We can have client nodes, we can have endorser nodes, we can have orderer and committers. Now, basically, why do we need endorsements? Now, if you go back to the public blockchain, we have a concept of miners, right? Who will validate the transaction. Now, in the Hyperledger Fabric, whenever you do transaction, whoever is responsible for that particular transaction, let's say in one channel, we have 3 companies. Let's say we have 5 companies, only 3 companies out of them will be doing the transaction, or they are the main entities. We can make them as endorsement peers. Now, what endorsement means is, whenever you do a transaction, let's say from A to B, that particular transaction will go to all the endorsement peers, all the nodes, and they will verify if the transaction is correct, if they want the transaction to go ahead. If they say yes, that's when the orderer peer or the ordering service will add the transaction in a blockchain. So you can imagine if I say, hey, let's connect tomorrow at 10 p.m. or maybe let's change the time. Let's connect tomorrow at 7 p.m. So that's a new transaction which we are doing. Now let's say let's say we have 14 participants. Out of 14 participants, we have 5 of you who attend these sessions daily. So for me, those 5 are important. So I can just ask, hey, are you okay with 9 or are we okay with 7 p.m. tomorrow? So you 5 are the endorsement peers. If you say yes, we can say, okay, that sounds good. So we can continue with the transaction, and then that transaction will go to the ordering service, and ordering service will add that in a blockchain. But what happens to the other peers, other nodes? They will be called as committers, because they will not be giving endorsement, they will not be doing ordering, they will just save the data in their ledger. Okay, so by default, all the endorsers are also committers, right? Because they will be also saving the data in their machine. It's not like the moment endorser says done, they will be adding the block in a blockchain or in their ledger. They will inform orderer peer. If order peer send the notification, then only they will save the block. Does it make sense?
So who dominates, endorser or orderer?
Who dominates is the endorsement peers, because they will be, if they say yes, then only it will go ahead.
Okay.
So orderer peer basically waits for all the endorsement peers to give a green flag.
Okay.
Great. Then we have talked about chain code. There are smart contract. Chain code must also define the endorsement policies. This is where you mention how many nodes are required to give a green flag. Remember when we were executing the commands yesterday, there was a part where you have to also mention all the endorsement peers. Peer 0 of organization 1, peer 0 of organization 2. So you can mention those who has to provide the endorsement. Okay. Then we have talked about ledger. So we have two types of ledger. We have world state and we have blockchain. So basically this is initially it is used to call transaction log. Now they are calling it blockchain, but they are same. So world state is the current state, the current data. Example, when we talked about the asset transfer yesterday. So if, let's say, if this asset, let's say a pen, it was belonging to, let's say, Omkar, now it belongs to me. So current world state specify that pen belongs to Naveen. But in the blockchain, we can specify, we can have the all records that pen moved from Tilakraj to Omkar, from Omkar to Naveen. Okay, and then we have talked about PDC as well. So of course, I will add some more data here as I will create my own notes, and then I will share that with you. Cool. I think we are good. And again, a hectic day. Thank you so much, Mohammad. So if you can, I'm not sure if you have shared that on Discord. Oh, it's shared. It's shared. Nice.
Already did.
Thank you. Great. So after that session, it's time for a break for the weekend. So we'll not be having session tomorrow and not even on Monday. Directly, we'll be connecting on Tuesday. So till Tuesday, make sure that you have run your test network and the steps followed by Mohammad. So whatever exploration need to be done, do that, and we'll connect on Tuesday again. And let's see if we can create our own network. Otherwise, it's there anyway. Great. Let me stop the recording.